Welcome to Fails on the Trails. On this podcast, runners share their stories behind their DNF, did not finish, or DFL, dead freaking last, experiences. Our goal? To help you learn from what went wrong in a previous race so that everything can go right in your next race. I'm Justin Smith, proud owner of 13 DNFs, and I'm joined by
Lisa Decker, and I have 17 DNFs.
And I'm Nicole, and I have 5 DNFs.
And together we are your DNF experts. So lace up your running shoes and come along for the ride as we unpack the stories, mistakes, and lessons learned from the fails on the trails.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Fails on the Trails. And this week we have Marissa with us. Marissa is a huge part of a running club called Running Familia, which I know she will touch on later and talk about them, but I just had to bring them up first because they support like not only each other but other runners. Like Justin, Nicole, and I used them during our first meeting at Brazos Bend as a shelter, place to rest. They freaking fed us. Great run club, so I can't wait to hear more about them and the support. And it's been about a week since Grasslands, which I know we will definitely touch on later. I want to hear the whole story of Grasslands 100 that Marissa just ran that had a like 70 to 75% DNF rate, me being one of them. So yeah, I just, before we kind of get into all the races and stuff, we just want to get to know Marissa a little more. So tell us like who you are, where you're from, what do you like to do when you're not running and helping every single runner out there?
Well, I mean, aside from running and pacing and hanging out, I like to karaoke, and that's pretty much it. And now I'm into hockey. That's a new thing. So
What's your favorite karaoke song?
I don't have one. That's a trick question.
Trick question. What's the last song you sang karaoke?
I think it was Fat Lip by Sum 41.
Nice.
I was about to ask the genres, so you can go rock, pop. Is there certain genres?
Like there was a time when I was doing Anaconda every Wednesday for like a year, and then I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore. It's only on request.
We need to definitely next race do together so we could do some 3 a.m. trail karaoke together.
Yeah, you'll find me out there. You can hear me out there. I'm really loud all the time, so my trail etiquette doesn't exist. So yeah,
I love it.
I like Pocahontas.
Good choice.
Awesome.
Lisa and I did some Disney listening along at the last race we did too.
We did. I found a metal Disney playlist, so it's like "Let It Go," like that kind of stuff. Not very fancy Disney.
Awesome.
Is that an Achilles buckle I see behind you? Achilles heel?
Yeah. There's 2 of them.
Okay. I think that's when Lisa did the Mulan. She sang Mulan to me and sang "I'll Make a Man Out of You."
I'm pretty sure that's on my running playlist.
Justin had never heard that song before, Marissa. Can you believe that?
What? No way.
No.
Oh man.
I had to educate him real quick. We got educated.
Oh yeah. The historical inaccuracies of that movie.
You mentioned you like hockey now. Are you playing or watching?
I'm watching.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to the boy aquarium, as me and Lisa, as she termed it, now a lot to watch some, I guess, AAA league that's like right under minor leagues play. So yeah,
Cool.
Yeah. My boyfriend plays on a bunch of teams, veteran teams and beer league teams. So we're just out there.
And he was actually out at Grasslands for his first ultra running experience, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did he think of it?
Well, he decided to wear his army fatigue the whole time, which was fun because I don't know if you guys know the temperature, but it got really hot. So he actually, I think Friday night when we set up, he was dressed like a ninja. And so, yeah, but he really enjoyed himself. The Colt Running Familia, we are going to do a relay race in May, and I didn't even ask him. I just kind of voluntold him that he's going to run a segment. And so now he's like, I got to get shoes. I got to get this. I got to get prepared. He's ready to start wrecking almost. So yeah, I think the trail bug may have bitten him, maybe just a little bit, just a little.
It is a cult, so tell him you're stuck.
Yeah.
Before you joined the cult, did you have any running background, any sports or anything in high school or coming out of it?
Oh, no, I was in band. No, I started running when I moved to Fort Worth in my mid-20s. Well, actually, I'd been running like the whole time, right? I've always just run. That's just something to do. And but I was never fast. Like when I did track in middle school, because I didn't do it in high school, I was on like the C team, which is basically the students that they can't tell you no. So they put you all together and then you are the worst of the worst. But they can't tell you no, you can't do it because it's middle school. Everyone gets to participate. So I did that. I running around the colony for a minute. And then when I moved to Fort Worth, I just would run around like Gateway Park or Trinity River. And then I started running with social running. And that was really fun. But I met Running Familia one Tuesday and they were just getting back from Franklin or something like that. And they were talking about trail running and camping. And I was like, you could go outside and you could camp and you could run through I'm down. So we started going, I started meeting them at Sansom in Fort Worth and I just kind of never looked back really. And so, yeah, now I have like a running group, but I just kind of was out on my own or with social running. It became a thing where, people may be training for a marathon or a half marathon, but I didn't really get a lot of people doing ultras and stuff. And so when I started getting into that, it was kind of like, hey, who wants to run 20 miles for funsies? And people are like, nah, I'm good. So, but, out on the trails, we're all crazy. Yeah, you'll find someone who's down for a long run.
Did they ever
Yeah.
talk you into doing a 5K or a half before you met Running Familia?
Well, I signed up for one because it was, inexpensive and, I'm going to run a 5K. And so I did that. Really, I was my friend was she was training for a marathon for BMW. And so she needed someone who wanted to go out and do long runs. And I want to go run 20 miles again for funsies. So I started doing long runs to help her train. And then a childhood friend challenged me to do Brazos Bend 50 miler. Having really only done officially a half marathon race. And so I was like, well, anything you can do, I can do better. And so we went out to Brazos and I went from a half marathon to 50 miles. And now I've only ever really run one official marathon. It's just been ultras really ever since because why not? So yeah, kind of got bit by the ultra bug.
That's a fun perspective because typically there's no way I could do a 5K, then they do a 5K. Well, then they progress up. Whenever you did Brazos, was there any time during Brazos, did you have any doubts? Were you on a mission for that one?
Oh, yeah, no, it was more of like, what the hell? Because it rained all the night before, it rained all the morning of, and I didn't know that this was going to be a pattern for a lot of my ultras where I just rain. And
True.
so, yeah,
True.
it was one of those like what the hell? And this was back when Rob had trot. And so they didn't cancel the race or reschedule. We just went out there and I'm pretty sure I went out with him. And so I ran into Running Familia there, but we weren't together. Oh. And so we set our stuff up near their stuff, probably under the same canopy and things like that. And then as time progressed, we just kind of became part of their group. My friend does not train. He's not an ultra runner. He is a Renaissance man. So he does Renaissance fairs. And so I guess he was drinking and decided to sign up for this 50 miler and then challenged me so he didn't have to do it alone. That's really like, the agenda behind it. So I'm out there having been training for a 50 miler. I think 20 miles is probably my longest distance at that time. And I think he dressed as a pirate, like in full garb, including boots, for like the first like whole loop or whatever that was, which was like 15 miles at least. And then he put on tennies, which at that point his legs were shot. And so we have a whole rest of a 50 miler to. At the time, Running Familia was out there doing a lot of the people's first hundreds and stuff like that, and first ultras also. So they were already dying. I'm dying. I think I got mud in my shoes and came back, and I'm pretty sure it was Erica, one of the ambassadors. I was like, there's blood in my shoe. There's blood in my shoe. And they're like frantically trying to get my shoe off, and it's just full of mud because of the rain. So it was more of a mental thing than a physical thing because I completely disassociated from my body as one does and was just like running out in the dark, in the cold. My friend had decided he wasn't going to stop at aid stations. So I became a carrier mule where I'm just going to run up to the aid station, grab what he needs, refuel myself, and then he's going to fly by nonstop, and I'm going to grab what I can and bring it to him and then run back and throw things away or whatever because he's not stopping. And this is just what we're doing now. I think I didn't have truck pulls at the time, so we're just grabbing sticks and going. But I mean, I remember seeing a guy out there with like no legs, or he was in a crank wheelchair, and he's going through the mud by himself. I think that was the first time I've ever seen a runner like vomit on the side of the trails, somebody sleeping on the side of the trails. It was like a war zone. And I'm like, I love this. So something clicked, and this was my new thing now. This is what I do. So yeah, Brazos Brand 50 was, and then at the end, because I didn't pay attention to the medals, I'm used to getting all these shiny medals, and then Rob hands you a medallion, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I did 50 miles for a medallion. He's like, well, do a longer distance next time if you want a medal. I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to. And so my next race from that was the first time he did Possum's Revenge, and I DFL'd that one. So
That's a cool unicorn one, isn't it? Isn't that the?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
it's the possum on a unicorn over
Nice.
the rainbow, and everything's on fire.
Yeah, rainbow on fire with glitter, and I think is that the one where it's holding an ice cream cone?
Lightning bolts.
Lightning bolts. Okay,
Yes.
there's
Yeah.
The
two
llama
different.
one, the llama one, he's got an ice cream cone, and it's snow.
And this is all
Yeah.
before AI, so that's impressive. All the possum buckles. I
Yeah,
remember when
yeah,
COVID happened, I was like looking at races and I saw that and I was like, what is this? A 69 miler? And it was the coolest looking buckle out there. I was like, this looks awesome. But
yeah.
that's really cool
Where?
that you did your first 50 miler and you got like a full bingo blackout on your bingo card for like running with the
Yeah,
pirate and thought your feet were bleeding and all the adversity.
yeah. I think I was wearing toe socks, but they were like old high school decorative toe socks with holes in them. So I'm wearing like toe socks and then socks on top of those, and then knee-high socks with my pants tucked into that. And just because I don't have gear yet, I think even my first hydration pack wasn't even a Camelback. It was something I got from Walmart. So it was tough. It was fun. A lot of fun.
I remember that year, and it was rough. And the guy in the crank chair, Benny, I remember him getting stuck a few times and people offering to help push, and he's like, no, and he'd get out in front of his chair and pull it while hopping on one leg. He's an amputee. That mud was ridiculous out there.
Yeah.
So kudos for fit. I think I don't remember what distance I did that year, but might have been the year I drug my tire because I'm an idiot, but
Yeah. But that sounds like fun. Way to go.
yeah,
Way to go.
thanks.
So we're all in different cities. I know Lisa's Houston, Nicole, Austin, and I'm Oklahoma
Mhm.
City. And when I go down to Texas to do races, I always find myself in the Running Familia tent. They always adopt me. I think it's like 4 or 5 races now. They've taken me in. And there have been times where they're like, hey, do you want food? And I'm like, no, I'm good, just because I don't want to burden them. And they're like, no, eat this. And they're like, you like bacon? And then they make me like bacon and egg burritos. And there's a lot of videos I made for my YouTube channel. Like, I'm so grateful for Running Familia. And so I think this is a really good time to dive into what they're all about. And I know them from the ultras, but is there like even a weekly run club?
Yeah. So I just now realized like I have a tattoo. I organized that. That's fun. So some of us went and got Running Familia tattoos. But yes, so when I met them, it was on Tuesday. And Tuesday we're downtown Fort Worth, by the TCC campus and the courthouses. There is this giant stupid hill that we walk, whatever. Then we'll go out on the river and go out and run to the Mark Twain statue and back, which is about 4 miles, or do calisthenics at the other TCC campus, which is the nursing campus, or just something. But we meet there Tuesdays at 6:00. And then on Wednesdays, we meet at Sansom, which is the most awesomest park ever in DFW. I'm going to get all the trails tattooed. That's where Panther City Ultra is this weekend. And then let's see, Thursdays, a faction of us meets at Eagle Mountain on North Fort Worth. Friday nights, someone will be up Sansom doing hill repeats or something like that. Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings are at Sansom again. So basically 6 to 7 days a week, we're out running because I don't think the weekends they really post about it. It's just, we're going to be there. I mean, I spent Christmas with Bernie doing hill washout repeats because why not?
About on average, how many people would show up to like one of the busier nights?
Oh gosh, I don't know because it depends on the weather. When it's getting dark and cold, there's less of us. When it's nice outside, there's more of us because not everyone does trail running. Like we have a guy in our group who is a double amputee below the knee. And so he is out there with us on Tuesdays, but not on Wednesdays because he just doesn't have the equipment to do trails yet. He's trying to get out there. Then some people do go out on Wednesdays, but maybe they'll just do the sidewalk part. If the weather is nice, people bring their dogs and stuff or their kids and stuff. So probably like a dozen, maybe I'll say, but I'm probably overshooting. I have no clue, honestly.
I love that y'all have multiple days, like almost every day of the week. So everybody who has I have a wacky schedule and I can't always make the run clubs out here. So it's nice that you have options.
Yeah. And then some people get out like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, even though we don't meet till 6, and they're done by 6 or at noon. A couple of times I've been invited to go out at like 9 in the morning, and then I'm out there until, where people meet up at 6. And I'm like, all right, well, I got my miles in. I've been out since 9. So bye. So yeah, I mean, we consistently try to have, a specific time at least so that people can meet with us. But then at the same time, if you get there at 6:05, at Sansom, we may be already dispersed and out on the trails. So, good luck finding us because, it's almost every man for himself in a way, but out on Tuesdays, it's pretty much at the bottom of the hill. You'll see people set up in their chairs or someone, you just kind of show up, get some miles in. We'll meet at the bench afterwards. Bernie has his own bench at Sansom. So, if you're out there until 6:30 or so, you'll find someone who's either just finishing or just getting there.
And accountability is one of the hardest things with anything, working out, training, running. So to have somewhere where, at this time on this day, I'm going to find my people, it's definitely powerful.
Just a little bit of support.
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually tell people, if they are looking to get out, but they're kind of afraid, especially Sansom can get really intimidating. I'm like, just call me when you need me. I'll meet you out there, whatever you guys want to do, whatever we're going to do. I'm not going to drag you through the woods for 20 miles unless you want me to. But, we can get out there and just do some hiking. And I got a couple of friends out there that don't actually run. So we basically, walk, hike about a 5K. I mean, and that's, good for them because they wouldn't even been out there if it weren't for, just being consistent and showing up. So that's just, everyone's got their own pace. That's what Bernie's bench says, my race, my pace. It's your body. It's your mindset. It's what you want to do. And we're out there to support.
I love that.
And then kind of talk about how big of a cheat code it is to have the Running Familia at the race with you.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh my God. So because we're not like an official run club, right? We're a family. It's just a huge support group. I have had people help me change my shoes and socks when I realized physically I couldn't do it myself, and someone just jumps in to help. Even when I ran El Taco Loco, okay, the first iteration that Rob had it was in San Antonio. Nobody signed up for the race, yet someone from Running Familia just so happened to be in San Antonio that weekend, and she showed up to crew me in San Antonio. It was awesome. So like we're everywhere. We had some of our people just move to Spain. So when I go to Europe and I'm going to run in Spain, I might find some Running Familia out there. So it's really just having family. Kat does a fat ass style run for her birthday at Sansom every year. And we show up just to support her. It's not even an official race. And now we're trying to make it a bigger and bigger thing every year because she's out there doing 100 miles on her own. And we'll show up. Some people will be out there to pace her. I know this last year I was injured, so I just sat at the camp and just watched all of our stuff all night long. And we've been doing it so often that the cops show up, and the first thing is like, you can't be here. We're like, yeah, like, all right, are you running an ultra? Yeah, well, how many miles are you at? Because they're not bothered by us, and we usually feed them anyways. So it's just, it's like having a massive run family that is just out there to do whatever you're going to do. I've even had friends where I've called and I'm like, hey, I need to go for a run now. I need this. I need, do you have a rucksack? Do you have a tire I could borrow? And they're like, yeah, come over and grab it. And then I'm out on the trails. So, we'll call each other 6 hours beforehand. Hey, I'm going to go do a long run. Do you want to come with? Yeah, sure. Or the day before, hey, I'm going to go run this. Do you want to come with? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a huge family where We meet out on the trails. We don't BS because it's all about running, and leave it out on the trails. If you have anxiety, if you have depression, if you have anything that's going on, whatever you've got, we're here to support you, and we'll be out on the trails. We do group activities outside of the trails, but that's the heart of the whole group is we're going to be out there. We're going to be outside doing something.
What does that look like? Is that like a cookout or like escape room, or what are some of those things that you guys can do to bond outside of running?
Like one time we had all the girls meet for rock climbing. We've gone out and just do like art festivals. Let's see. When we got Bernie his bench, that was a huge party. When Dan Man got canceled, I think maybe the second year, we did a Dallas versus Fort Worth DDR shootout, and Team Dirt and Vert showed up, and a lot of people showed up because it was just for funsies. Christmas parties, just kind of whatever. So I do these Friday the 13th tattoo pop-ups, and I did one in Cedar Hill, and like half the group showed up, and we got matching Running Familia tattoos just because I was throwing an art party. Just kind of almost anything where someone's got something going on. We got haunted houses together. One of our members or two of our members, their son has a band, and so we'll show up just to support the band. So yeah, just kind of any kind of group activity where we have enough headway to plan for it, people will show up.
It's always weird seeing your running friends in normal people clothes. You're like, wait, that's what you look
Yeah.
like?
Yeah. Yeah. The first time I saw them showered, I think it was Halloween. One of them was dressed as Ned Flanders, and he just basically had brushed his hair and put on a sweater. And I was like, who are you? You go, what? Or the first time seeing, I think, Amanda in a pink dress, I was like, what? You wear dresses? I only see you in what? And it's kind of cool and funny when you think about it, because we don't hang out until after we're done doing our activity. So we're all gross and sweaty and disgusting. So I don't usually see anybody clean anyways, because we get out, we take a group picture maybe beforehand, we go out and run, or we get out and we just go out and run. If we stand around too long, Bernie will yell at us. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of times at packet pickup. I'm like, okay, you're not in your running gear. Yeah, okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. You guys have any other questions before we dive into today's race?
No, I'm ready to hear about Grasslands.
Let's do it.
Let's hear it.
It's an
All
epic.
right. So today we are talking about Grasslands. How did Grasslands first get on your radar?
I knew about it when they were doing 50 mile buckles, right? But I was too nah. And I think it was happening around the same time Dan Man was happening. And so I'm choosing Dan Man over Grasslands because that's the free race in Oklahoma, free 50 miler. And I'm going to do that. That's, it's a free 50 miler in Oklahoma. Heck yeah. But when it got canceled one year, me and my friend Juan had already been training diligently for a 50 miler. And so I was like, well, screw this. I'm not going to let my training go to waste. Let's do Grasslands. And my brain is thinking, I'm going to get a buckle for 50 miles. Awesome. Nope. It was the first year that, Chris and Ann were doing the 100 miler out there. And it was the rain year. So that was my first iteration of actually running Grasslands, because I knew about it, but I was opting out for other races during that time. So now I'm going to do it. I'm sign up. I'm going to do it. And we get out there and he's like, yeah, I'm going to get a buckle. I'm like, well, you're getting a buckle. I'm not getting a buckle. I'm only doing 50 miles. What do you mean there's 100-mile distance? What? So, which I'm glad I only did the 50 miler, because Jesus Christ, that was torture. But yeah. And then the next year I came out and I paced because, it's a local race basically at this point. And I love pacing. So I just came out, showed up, paced, and then this upcoming year, I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I actually swept Possum so I could get the race credit, so I could do the Hundy, and then had to fucking put my ass on the line and do the 100 miles. So that's kind of, I already knew about it, but I just, it's kind of on the fence about doing things. And I'm used to doing 50 milers. I've done a lot of 50 milers, but hundreds, I know. Oh, okay. So I was more afraid of the weather this year, but I think when I went out there last year and I paced and I saw that it was mostly sand, I was, what the fuck is this? This place sucks. Yeah, either wet or dry. I'm not a fan. That's challenging. And out there while doing it, and it's hot outside. I remember texting Kat. I'm like, all right, fine, let's do it. I'm gonna do Habanero 100. So might as well do that now. So that's
So what made you pick this one as your first 100 that outside of like a timed event? Because I know you've done like Achilles and Jackalope Jam to get 100 miles, but this was your first like 30-hour cutoff 100. Like, what made you pick this
Oh,
one?
because I could just sweep to earn the race credit, and that's like a free race. So my brain is like, ooh, your wallet can afford a free 100. Because the reason I did Achilles was because it was like $55. Like, oh, I can financially afford this. But it's like, yeah, but you have to physically do the thing. So your brain is like, oh, it's cheap. So I swept. So it was a easy grace credit. But I mean, not really, because I sprained my ankle sweeping. So that I had an injury to recover from that I never let myself recover. And so whoops. But yeah, that's kind of one of those things where I'm not really thinking straight, because I'm like, oh, financially, I got this. And then physically you have to put out, which is not something that I think about until like right before the race.
That is the like ultra runner mentality. It is find a way to sign up for the race and then figure it out, especially with us at the back of the pack. But kind of
Yeah.
paint the picture of the trails. I know you said it was sand. Is it single track? I know. I remember Lisa and I opening some gates out there. Is it pastures? What does the trail look like?
Sand. It's
Sand?
wide sand, and then like soft and fluffy sand, and sometimes it's compacted, and there's horses, and you can go up and down. And there were parts where I was thinking I wouldn't be able to see this in the dark because the grass is so overgrown and I'm so short that I was just unable to see the trail in front of me because of the grasslands.
So it's just in the name.
It's not just like pastures. So yeah, it's typical dirt and sand, and there's some pine leaves out there. You go through some piney trails. I was lucky enough to see it in the light, because the past few times I've done it, it's been dark, and when I pace, I pace all throughout the night, and so I don't get to see much. I'm glad I got to see it this year, which was nice, because then when it got dark, I knew what I was up against because I saw it, those little ponds and lakes and stuff that you're like, oh, that's nice. And then the sun goes down and you're like, why is it so cold? Well, because of the water.
So for this year, as race week approached, you saw the 7-day forecast. Was it looking to be as hot as it was the whole time? What was going through your mind right before the race?
Oh, just yay, no rain. I mean, I'm powered by the sun, so that wasn't a problem. It's just I'm so tired of it raining before my races. Like, it keeps happening, and it's mainly 50 milers. So at Jackalope, though, we got all the weather, which I didn't know wind was a weather.
Hurricane.
So yeah, I mean, seeing that it wasn't gonna rain, I didn't care about the heat, because I'm Texan. I'm not bothered by that. It's just the cold and rain, because you can't be unwet. Really, it's hard to keep dry outside when it just keeps wet and mud and cold and wind, and you're wet and the wind is blowing, and I got not thick enough blood for this. So yeah, I wasn't worried at all about the 90 something degree weather. That was nothing. I mean, yes, it's a little bit early for that. No heat training, but still, like, meh.
Are you worried about the 30-hour cutoff at all, with it being your first timed hundo?
Yes. Oh God, yes. So my brain was like, all right, I packed all this real food, because I don't do gels and I can't do a lot of aid station food because I have a sensitive tummy. And so I packed a bunch of stuff for sandwiches and just things to snack on, and like a crap ton of avocados. So I had all this planned, all these clothes, change of clothes and everything. I had all this plan. And then I guess I took too long the first like 2 loops, and that basically screwed me the whole rest of the race. I was chasing cutoffs, like the first cutoff. My pacer, Josh, got me through the first cutoffs, and he was like, we're going to do things in chunks. But we didn't plan out the next chunking. So when I got through the first cutoff, I was like, I'm home free till the end of the race, which is not how that works. And I'm already sleep deprived, and I'm terrible at math anyways. So I get out to go do the red loop on my own in the dark and in the cold, in a wet t-shirt and shorts that I've been already wearing for like, I don't know, 50 miles. I don't even know. And I just fly out of the for start finish, and there's another cutoff. And so here comes my second pacer, Kenneth. Anyways, Kenneth had just paced me for a loop. I can't even remember the colors anymore. But he just paced me for a loop. And I'm like, well, I don't have time to wait on who's going to pace me for this next loop. I'm just going to go out there. So he comes out there right behind me, and I'm starting to really shut down because, like I said, I'm cold and wet, and I don't do cold and wet in the dark. So plus I kept doing negative splits at the end of my loops because I took too long starting the loop. So at the end of my loop, I'm like nauseous and tired, and I got to catch up for my stomach being upside down starting the next loop, but I got to cut off so I don't have time to be sick and slow, but I got to recover so I can run faster. So I'm just miserable. And he's like, yeah, we got another cutoff. You gotta make the thing at this time. And I'm like, what? No, it was just the one cutoff. And he's like, no, there's 3 cutoff. You got this one, and this one. I'm like, crap. So I have a little tantrum while I like scoot along because I'm tired and I'm cold and I'm wet. I didn't change into any of the dry clothes that I had or any of the long wet, the gloves, none of that. All the stuff I prepared, gone. Like food, none of that. No, I don't have time for a sandwich, nothing. Just ginger ale and Kind bars and keep moving, stupid. So yeah, I remember at one point because I'd been picking up trash the entire day, which also I think slowed me down. But mentally, I can't just walk past a piece of trash on the trail. I can't do it. I can't do it. I know that there are people out there that are not part of the race that are just enjoying the park, whatever. I can't leave it. It's like Mother Earth is screaming to me not to do it. As a matter of fact, this is a piece of trash I picked up. It says, I love you. I found when I was doing a trail run, I was picking up trash, and then I found that on the ground. I was like, oh, the trail's giving me a gift. She said, I love you. And so I find stuff. The more trash I pick up, the more treasures I find. So anyways, I'm doing the red loop in the dark. It's cold. And I remember seeing a sweater out on the ground earlier that day. And now we're coming up on that sweater. I hope it's there. So I tell Kenneth, who's way ahead of me, hey, man, there should be a black sweater on your left somewhere. Pick it up. I'm going to put it on. And he's like, what? Like, I'm going to put on that sweater. I'm cold. And he's like, well, what if somebody used it to wipe their ass? I told you I'm going to put on that sweater. I don't care. I said what I said. So he picks it up. We dust it off. It's dirty and gross. And he's like, it's gross. It's sandy. I'm like, I don't care. Put it on me. So I put on the sweater and I immediately start warming up. I also usually keep a poop pack in my hydration on my Camelback that I've never had to use, which apparently doesn't make me a trail runner because I've never pooped in the woods, but whatever. So in my poop pack, I have an extra bandana, which I don't know what the bandana is for, but I know now it's to keep me warm because my other bandana is wet. So I'm wearing 2 bandanas, one wet, one dry, and then this sweatshirt that I found. So my finishing photos, I got the sweatshirt tied around my waist. I didn't start the loop with that sweatshirt. So I put it on and I just start picking up speed because I'm warming up now. I mean, it's the coldest part of the night right before the sun comes up, which is my favorite part to pace people. But now I'm in the misery of doing the ultra myself and I'm the one who needs the pacer. And this is just miserable. So, I get through that and then I come in for the last loop and guess what? There's another cutoff. And I don't have time for crap. So my pacers are calling ahead to make sure I can just do a handoff and keep running. And then Stephanie comes out and does the last loop with me. And she's like a drill sergeant yelling at me to keep up pace because I'm, again, slowing down. I mean, I think at mile 90, 10:46 miles. So I think, I was growling and pushing so fast. I remember looking at my watch and it was like 9:55. I'm like, oh, crap. I don't even know how I'm running this fast this late into the race, but I got to hit these cutoffs. I don't have time to cry. I don't have time to poop. I don't have time to think about the sand in my shoes. I don't have time for anything. Just run. There's a buckle on the line. So when the sun came back up and I'm like, I don't want to do this. Stephanie's like, you better run. So I'm like shuffling along and here we go again, chasing cutoffs. So nothing I planned in the beginning of the race went as planned. All of the food that I brought, I didn't get a chance to eat because I didn't have time. And it was, I should have taken a picture of that first sandwich. It had sprouts and spinach and a whole avocado. I put a slice of Swiss cheese, corned beef, onions, tomatoes. It was fat. It was so delicious. And that was the last time I ate like real food. I'm pretty sure I was like maybe 26 miles in.
That's how you got so far behind me because I think 2 or 3 times during the race, you would come up on me and I'm like, how are you behind me again?
Yeah.
And then when I saw you, when I was having my my popsicle of shame, on the red loop at the aid station because I knew I was done. And you come up and well, first of all, you unload like 5 pockets full of trash. And I'm like, and I yelled at you too, like, stop picking up trash. It bugs me, but stop. But I was like, again, how did you get that far? Because I was there for a while and I don't know how you got, because there's that damn sandwich.
Yeah. And I mean, I had a couple of sandwiches, but one of them my boyfriend accidentally put garlic butter sauce on my sandwich and I didn't want it. And so that basically turned my stomach the whole rest of the race. I'm just burping garlic butter sauce. As soon as we got home, I was like, throw that shit away. I never want to see it again.
Was there ever a time, like, I know you were chasing cutoffs, but was there ever a time where you're just like, I don't want to, I'm just too much anxiety, too much stress? Because I know that gets in my head, like where you're like, no, or you're like, I'm getting that damn buckle.
Getting that buckle. Yeah, no. As a matter of fact, when I went out with my pacer, because that was the whole thing. Anybody that started talking about maybe they're not going to finish, I had to get out of there. I cannot be around that mindset. I have put too much on the line for this. I've told so many people I'm going to get this fucking buckle. If I don't get this buckle, I'm a liar. So like, I don't have time. So it was really just just sacrifice yourself. Don't fall down. And that was it. Like I know I don't do trail math. And so I'm really glad I had people out there to help me because my brain was freaking out about how are you going to be able to do these, 2 loops of 20 something miles or whatever in 5 hours. And I'm just like, I'm going to try to do it. And then it's like, no, you get it. You only have to do like this 1 loop and 4 hours. And then this next loop and like 5 hours. And this next loop, my brain is like, no, I got to run all the miles right now. And my little body, it can't do it. And so that, and then I noticed that my walking pace is not like walking. It's a casual, leisurely stroll for everybody else. So everyone who's walking, I'm still having to jog. I'm 5 feet tall. So like, I'm not able to really like my stride is just so short. So like, I didn't really get to walk. Walking meant 20 something plus miles. And I don't have the time for that, which is why my stats were, I would hit 20 something plus miles and then it would be like 14, 18, 15, 14, 15, 12, 11. And then into the loop, start over again, 20, 19, 18, 14, 15, 20, 11. And it would just get faster and faster and faster because I know failure was just not an option. I literally maimed myself getting the race credit to do this. And then my stupid self couldn't sit down long enough to let my body heal, so I'm just running on the treads. It was so bad. I think I blew my legs out running too fast at Texmas in December. So I learned the value of stretching and what your IT band is and how your ankles are connected to your butt. I didn't know that. So like I knew don't run too fast because then you'll burn your legs out and then you definitely will have trouble finishing, but don't go too slow that you have to chase cutoffs, which is what I did. So, whoops. But yeah,
when you're on your last loop and made the cutoff, I've seen this before in races to where runners would make the last cutoff and they're like, well, I'm going to finish. I'll just be an unofficial finisher. How important was it to you to still finish within the time when you're on that last loop?
Oh, because Stephanie, who coordinated all the pacers and everything, was now out on the course with me and really like doing the math to make sure like every time I slowed down, she had to recalculate how long of a pace I had to run to catch up to the cutoff. I felt like, well, like at this point, I can't let her down. She's literally out here on the course with me. If I don't finish in time, I'm not just letting myself down, I'm letting her down because why did she come out here if I was just gonna like not finish in time? So it really was just like, I have to finish. Like it was not an option as long as I can stay upright and keep moving. Like I think at one point, because I didn't have time to unload all of the trash and crap I was picking up and dead batteries. At one point I'm unloading my pack into her pack while we're going. And I know there's a part, I guess you finish on the yellow loop. So it's the yellow loop right before you get into the pines and that machine that makes a lot of noise on the left. You go down and then you come right back up. As soon as we're going down, I'm trying to stuff her pack with my crap. because we don't have 60 seconds to stop. She literally was like, we don't have 60 seconds to stop. We don't have time to stop. Every time she heard me fiddling with my watch, she would turn around and yell at me. Every time I would stop to do something or slow down to like take a sip of water or something, she would turn around and yell at me. So at one point I flipped my pack backwards because it was just so heavy that it hurt to wear, because I had 2 dead batteries, my phone, headlamp, some shotgun shells and a bunch of trash, bottles, plus my bladder, plus my back bladder. And it, for some reason, wouldn't stay on me. It kept falling off to the side. And so it just physically hurt to put it on. And so I was just trying to carry it in my arm and then shuffle along, but then I couldn't do it with my truck pulls, and it was just too much in my hands. Then I'm fiddling with too much. And so what she was doing was yelling at me, which was very motivating. And so when I was like, it's heavy, it's too heavy, she's like, fine. So we're literally doing that. And at that point, once I unloaded all that weight literally off of myself onto her, I was like, okay, I think I can do this now. I think I can run faster. And then I would run faster, and then my stomach would turn upside down, and then I'd be like, I'm going to throw up. I'm going to shit. I'm going to shit. And so I'd slow down for that. And then she'd yell at me again because I'm slowing down too much. So then I got to pick up the pace again. And she kept telling me I didn't have to run, I think it was like 17-minute miles, just keep 17-minute miles. But I can't do that. Like I just couldn't do that. So I'm running under 15-minute miles and then getting sick because I'm running too fast, and then slowing down to 20-something minute miles, and she'd yell at me, and then I'd run fast. Next thing you know, we're running 13-minute miles. I'm like, and she's like, don't do that. I'm like, I don't. It was just a lot of mental torture. It was just a lot of torture, and me not being able to find a pleasant medium because I'm too much freaking out about how I have to finish. So I'm going to run my body ragged until I'm ragged, and then recover, and then run it ragged again, and then we're finished. Yay, we did it.
I think Stephanie is going to have a lot of people reach out to her now and say, I'm about to do a 100-miler. I need you on my last loop after listening to this.
Yeah, and that wasn't planned. I mean, it really wasn't planned. I mean, she was my 3rd pacer, and I don't think that was an official thing, because I was already like mentally like, I'm just going to go out on my own. Once the sun came back up, I was like, yeah, I got this, except for I don't got this, like math-wise. But mentally, I'm like, I don't need anybody. I could just go out there and just kill it. Kill yourself on the trail, basically. And so, yeah, it's just that.
And I know that last loop was nerve-wracking for you, but I was at the finish line, and the last couple were coming through, and I'm looking at the clock, and then I look down and I see your boyfriend, JJ?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah.
JJ and Bernie. I see them standing down, looking down the trail, and I walk down with them, and I look at my watch, and I'm like, okay, she's got like 4 minutes. Okay, she has 3 minutes. How much time did you have to finish?
2
or to
minutes.
spare?
2 minutes. So so the last loop, you have to come through the gate. You have to come uphill pretty much the whole way, like the whole last few miles, which I don't know how many miles that is, but I remember when we started the loop, and she was like, there's somebody out here ahead of you, and you're not going to DFL. And I'm like, but I want to DFL. She's like, nah. And I'm like, you're no fun. And so, but then we would see the person, and then they would take off running. And I'm like, that's not fair. I'm hobbling. And so we would like pass each other hobbling. I don't have headphones. So I have my music going, which I'm sure is like it's annoying to everybody. But at this point, I don't care. And so like, if it motivates you to run faster, then get away from me. So we're tag teaming this other couple. I think she was a 100-miler. I think there was a female that finished right before me, maybe. There was a male and a female, I'm pretty sure. And so we're tag teaming at some point. The male finished, and then the female finished. And so we're coming up to the gate, and we got to do the rolling up hills, and then you kind of do the S curve into the tree line, and then you come up to the windmill, and around the corner and back, and you turn back. And so we're coming up the rolling hills, and Stephanie's like, you got 5 minutes, 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay. She's like, you can run for 5 minutes. And I'm like, you're right, I can. You're right. I have to. I don't even have like a choice. Like I have to. And so I remember like taking the time out to put on my like finisher song. And so I'm like, which is the same song I listened to like 16 times, so I'm sorry to everybody who had to hear me listen to Bop 16 times, but like I needed it. And so it's from Shorzy, and it just really like pushed me. And so I put it on and I'm running. And then the song finishes before we finishes the rolling hills. And I'm like, like, oh my God, how much further is this fucking race? Like, I can't keep doing this. My brain is like, it's just right over there. And like, you get to that point and you still have further to go. And so I'm like, and so once we got to where we're going into the tree line, and she's just behind me, 2 minutes, you got 2 minutes. Which I'm sure was probably, well, no, it was 3 minutes. She was like, you got 3 minutes. And so I'm really pushing and just pushing. And so when we got out of the tree line and I could see like the actual campgrounds and everything, I was just like, I'm in the clear, but I can't slow down because my slow pace is like, 30-minute miles at this point. And I don't want to like unofficially not finish because I decided to walk it in the last like 200 feet or whatever. And so it was just pushing through the last 2 minutes. I was ready to vomit and shit at the same time. It was the worst feeling ever. It was the worst feeling.
But then,
Wow.
then you get to stop.
Yeah. I mean, I stopped my watch. Yeah, I remember stopping my watch at 58. And I'm like, I felt like I finished before then, but I guess not. I don't even know. I don't know. All I know is 29 minutes. And I just, 2 minutes. And I've done it before where I had like 1 minute and 58 seconds to spare. So 2 minutes from the cutoff, I'm tired of doing this. This is not fun. It is so much fun. It's terrible.
Stressful.
Very stressful.
Yeah. So it's not something one plans on doing. You go in and you're like, I'm going to kick ass. And then like, no, you're not. You're going to, I don't know what you're going to do, but that's not it. So yeah, I don't even remember who all was there. I just remember hearing voices yelling at me to keep running. And yeah, I wanted to just give me my buckle, and I held on to it for about 48 hours. I didn't let it go. It went with me everywhere I went, everywhere. I just held on to it. I slept with it. Like I had bruises on my hands from just gripping it in my sleep. Like it just was everywhere. At some point I just would put it on my chest and just like keep feeling it to make sure it's still there. And then
It's real. It really happened. It's not a fever dream.
Yeah. And I think it was like, I don't know, like 8 o'clock on Sunday night when I realized like I just got done running like 8 hours ago, like today. Yeah, Sunday evening, it was one of those like surreal moments where I'm like, hey, wait, didn't I just run 100 miles like earlier today? I'm tired. So yeah.
I know when you're doing a race, there's always the soreness after, but when you're chasing cutoffs for over half the race, it almost feels like it takes your mind a lot longer to come back. Do you remember like how many days it took for you to be back together mentally?
Well, I'm mentally not right anyways, so
It's like it never comes back.
So at one point, I think around mile 50 something, when I got my pacer, or right before I got my pacer, that loop before I got my pacer, I tied my shoes too tight, or my left shoe too tight. And it's still, my shins hurt. So every now and then I'll wake up in the middle of the night with like this throbbing pain in my shin and in my ankle. And I'm just immediately taken back to the race. Like, I'm just like, it's like, I guess I have PTSD again from Grasslands. Thank you, Grasslands. And so I'll like wake up and I'm like kind of freaked out that I got to get up and go do something because my leg hurts. And last time it hurt this bad, I was chasing cutoffs. And so I'll wake up and I'm like, and it's like, it's 7 a.m. Just go feed the cat and go back to bed. Like you don't have anything to worry about. And so really it's just like got home, took a shower, and poor JJ, he had 3 hockey games that weekend. And so he left Grasslands, played hockey, came back, and then crewed me until he had to leave again, go play 2 hockey games back to back, and then came back, and then basically didn't sleep until we both got home, unpacked the car, got me in the house, scrubbed the tub, got me in the bathtub, to which I passed out. I remember waking up to me drowning.
Been there a lot.
He's like, don't fall asleep in the tub. I'm like, it's fine. I got this. And then I like woke up with like soap suds going in my mouth. Just like, meh. Twice. It happened twice. And so finally out of the tub, onto the couch, icing my legs, elevated, eaten, because he had to go and get food and come back. Oh, it was a whole thing. And I think we slept for about 5 or 6 hours. And then I was up until like 2 a.m. Sunday night. Yeah. So I got about 6-7 hours of sleep Sunday after the race. And it was up until about 2 a.m. And then it was like, all right, I need to go to bed. And then I've been waking up at like 8 o'clock in the morning ever since, like normal. Everything was like normal, except for the whole leg pain thing, which is, I got to figure that out. But yeah, because I mean, I have a cat who also reminds me of reality and how I can't just sleep in and be up all night and sleep all day. So yeah, it's more of a back to the grindstone thing, during the day, got to be productive and then try to stay up all night to watch TV, watch movies and stuff. So
What was the biggest like food craving after the hundo, or do you have that for all of your ultras where you're really craving something?
Well, I had all this delicious food that I brought. I had like this lemon capers noodles with sun-dried tomatoes in it. It was delicious. I got from Winco. I was eating hummus. I had like almost a dozen avocados. And so all of the food I had brought with me, I just wanted to eat all of it. Blackberries and cereal. I just wanted to eat everything. And instead I settled on pizza, which I'm lactose intolerant. And that was not a good idea. And so yeah, I wanted everything, and I still do just food cravings. It's weird. Earlier today, I was like, I want brisket. Like, I don't even know where it came from. I could just taste it. I really wanted the food I had brought. I mean, when we were out on the race, I knew I had to eat something because witnessing people's stomach turn and them DFLing because their stomach turned upside down. I didn't know what that happened to me, but I was on the cusp because I was running too fast and not fueling right. But at some point, I couldn't eat any just bacon tacos, which is just bacon and tortilla and maybe some avocado. That's so simple, so easy. I could eat it. And for some reason, I would take one bite. My stomach's like, nope, you're not doing that. But I've been struggling with food for a minute where I will start eating, even if it's a meal I made at home, I'll start eating something and either the smell or the sound or the mouthfeel will suddenly turn me off and I can't eat it anymore. The whole meal is just trash. So going into that, knowing that I already struggle with food was hard enough. And so now I'm like, I'll start eating something and then I'll be turned off by it. And then 3 hours later, I have a craving for something completely different that I shouldn't be eating. I ate a whole chocolate cake and a pint of ice cream in like 3 days. So again, lactose intolerant, not a good idea.
No, but that's what I was waiting for, because you were naming up all this healthy stuff like hummus and avocado. I'm like, where's the cheesecake? Where's the ice cream chocolate cakes? I knew we'd get there.
Yeah.
I still have my Little Debbie's.
Little Debbie's.
Yeah. So, but I eat like chocolate cake like regularly. I'll go and get a slice of chocolate cake and some blackberries or some blueberries and maybe a glass of red wine, and that'll be grill dinner. So just back to normal, I guess. And then, have a salad on top of that, like later on or earlier in the day, I'll have a salad so I can have chocolate cake at night because that's dinner. So
yeah. Absolutely. Girl dinner. You should try it sometime, Justin.
I eat all the things. I think when we do these, our body, we're draining all the calories out. We're burning through so many calories. And your body doesn't realize you're going to go back to normal everyday life the next day. So then for like the next week or two, your body's like, hey, I don't know if you're going to make me run another 100 miles. So let's eat everything that has all the calories. What I've noticed too is the smells. So like if I'm walking through the break room at work and someone has cookies, I'm like, ooh, someone has cookies. I smell the calorie food. It's crazy how your body works like that.
Yeah, I have the tendency to turn everything into a salad. So we went to Whataburger the other day, and I got halfway through my burger, and I was like, this needs avocado. And I didn't want to pay an extra like $2 for a little bit of avocado. So I went in the kitchen, grabbed avocado, and then I was like, oh, you still have sprouts and arugula and spinach. And next thing I know, my burger is a giant salad. And I remember JJ turned and looked at it and just did a double take because like, that's not what we brought from the fast food. You're eating fast food. How did you turn it into a salad? Like I'm hungry. Everything is a salad. I will put spinach and arugula in almost anything and eat that. And it doesn't even matter. Mac and cheese doesn't matter. It's going to be a salad. So because I need it to help me digest the BS that I'm going to put in my body later, i.e. ice cream and cake. So if I don't eat like a fistful of spinach or some kale or some dark leafy vegetable and some raw vegetables, then it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. So real bad. I can't really eat refined sugar or dairy or starch. And so that's pretty much all the fuels that are needed to survive ultras. So it's a real fun cat and mouse game of what are you going to eat that's not going to make you sick, that's going to fuel you up, that's also going to like not make you sick. It's gotta be hard. And then couple that with ginger ale. And I think at some point I ran out of ginger ale and it was like, well, here's the other bubble substances that you brought. And it was just like, man, no, I just want ginger ale.
So you're a week out from Grasslands, and then physically you said you got the shin. Is everything else good physically? Because I think you said you have a 50K coming up. Is that correct?
Yeah. Everything else is good. And I think the shin splints is also the same ankle that I twisted and didn't let it heal. And so it's just compounding injuries that I won't sit down. I just won't sit down. Even earlier today, I'm like, I'm going to sit down and drink my coffee. And the next thing I know, I'm walking around the house doing all these different chores and my coffee's cold. And so I just can't sit still long enough to let my body heal. And that's on me because my brain won't let me sit still. So, which is fine because I'll just disassociate and then put my body through hell and we'll figure it out later.
I think we can all pretty much relate to that.
Yeah. I get the leg compression sleeves. I bought those on Amazon, and it actually makes me sit still for 25 minutes. So that's a thought. That's something that might be able to help with that. And then my little sauna tent too. That's something where I set the timer for 30 minutes. So those are the 2 times where I can be sitting still. But other than that, yeah, I'm all over the place. I think that's just how we're wired.
Yeah. If I don't sit down and pre-grab an ice pack or a heating pad, well, no, because the heating pad, I'll get up. But with an ice pack, because I have to like get it finagled and everything. If I don't do that for myself, yeah, I'm just going to get up. And even sometimes then I find myself, I'm going to go get this to eat. And now I'm cleaning the kitchen because it bothered me that this is dirty dishes. I don't even know. It's ridiculous. And like, I'm in the process of moving. And so then I find myself organizing the new space to make room for the new stuff that's going to be coming that I haven't even packed yet. But now I'm cleaning the closet for some reason. And I'm supposed to be sitting down watching TV. Like, what's happening here? I'm in a whole different part of the house. So I just got to sit still. My last job, I found myself at the end of the workday standing at my desk and I'm so tired. I'm like, why am I exhausted? Well, because you start your workday sitting at your desk and then you go and you run a mile or 2 on your lunch break. And then you stand the whole rest of the day. And now you've been standing for like 6 hours out of your day on a sprained ankle. And then you're going to go and run 3 to 10 miles. A couple days a week, and you do this 5 days a week, and you're like, why am I so tired? Why my body hurt? Well, because you won't sit down. Just sit down. And I like to make all the foods from scratch, so I'm constantly just tearing up the kitchen and then cleaning up the kitchen so I could tear it up again. Like the pancakes, all from scratch. I don't know how many dirty dishes I created that I washed. So the kitchen's clean now after I've done all that. So guess who's going to tear up the kitchen again for dinner? And I won't sit down. It's so bad.
I'm glad we can help you sit down. We at least got you an hour.
Sitting right now.
All right. Then, Nicole, I'm putting you on the spot. Nicole, do you have any plans next weekend?
I don't think so.
Awesome. All right. Marissa, why should Nicole run the Panther race?
Because it's in our hometown and it's in the best trails. We will have the funnest fun. You'll get to experience. Where are you? You're in Austin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. It's fine. I know a guy who literally drives up to run 100-milers the morning of and gets there the morning of the race to run 100 miles. So in this case, just drive up the morning of, do a 5K. It's a late start. Enjoy all the festivities. Come see the run cult that we're going to get you into the group. I promise we won't tattoo you yet, but we'll just come in and see what all the fuss is about. I mean, Marion Sansom Park is like the best park in DFW. It's got all of the inclines, all of the rocks, but also some nice flat trails as well. It's off the lake and it's across from the military base. And so in the morning times and in the afternoon times, the murder birds are flying around, thundering up the sky. And then at night, when they take off, you can see the fire in the back. And that's why I call them murder stars, because you don't see them, they see you. And so it's really fun. And for me, that activity really gives me some more drive. I mean, it really just feels like, I don't know what it is about the giant thundering of these machines taking off in the sky and flying around the sky. But it really feels like, well, just so powerful. I can just take that energy and like put it in my legs and just go. And so plus, Rob, I don't know if you know Rob, but he has Rise Racing now, Rise Racing Co. And they put on some really great trail runs. And so just get to meet him. He's a really great guy, and come and see Bernie's bench. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Just going to be a lot of fun. If not, just volunteer, I mean, it's something to do. Come in and be part of the community, be part of the family.
Yes, I think you should go, Nicole.
Are you going, Lisa?
I will be in South Carolina. I am running country mile 48 hour out there. So going for another 100 plus because, why not?
Love it. I love
Do
it.
it.
We all have
Big.
so many problems.
I know. I do have a slight addiction.
Yeah.
It's
I think we all do.
It's a concern, a
other-
serious concern.
Any other questions before we dive into lessons learned?
I have questions.
Let's do it.
I have so many questions. So, Marissa, you mentioned that you typically run the 50-mile distance. So for this race, did you train more? Did you actually have a 100-mile training plan, or did you just do the same? No training plan, like most of us.
It was pretty dismal. So I trained really heavily for Texmas, and then I ran out of my inhaler, and I don't have insurance, so I couldn't run past 3 miles. And so my Strava is like, you did 100K, and then you did like maybe 3 miles. Up, you did 10 miles. Up 3 miles again, 100 miles. And so,
Oh, okay.
no, I didn't do anything I planned on doing. I think a couple of weeks prior, me and JJ went out and went skating, and that turned into an 8-mile skating venture, which then screwed me up for a minute. And I was like, no, my IT bands and all of this. So yeah, no, I didn't do anything I was supposed to. I'm pretty sure if I had trained better or at all, it may have gone differently. But no, I didn't know. My Strava is pretty like, you ran a lot. No, 100 miles.
Okay. My second question is, what is a poop pack?
So a poop pack is what one carries when they may have to poop in the woods. So my poop pack consists of wipes, spare bag, another spare bag, a spare bag with wipes in it, and a bandana, which it's like the 3 shells. What are the shells? Well, I don't know what the bandana would really be for. I guess that's what the extra baggie. But I found it while I was cleaning the trails one day, and it was like in a little snack bag. Never been used, and it's still never been used, but it's just like a little to-go thing of Clorox wipes or the body wipes. And then I recently put some more wipes in there, and then a couple of empty baggies, and I guess I got to put that bandana back in there just in case I need a dry bandana. But yeah, it's for in the event you find yourself needing to go number 2 and wipe. I mean, we ladies, things happen. Sometimes it's, not to be gross, cover your ears, Justin, but sometimes, other things come out of our bodies. And so, that.
I have a poop bag. You don't have one, Nicole? You need to get a poop bag. Justin, do you have a poop bag?
Okay. I have
No.
wipes with me just in case anything happens, but I don't, I
Right.
don't have
But what do you
special-
do with those wipes? Because you can't just leave them out on the trail.
Yeah, that's what the extra baggies are for. You put your used wipe in an extra baggie.
Or you're in like a
pack it out.
facility. I usually, wait till I find a bathroom.
Right, which is what my brain makes me do. Right. So that's why I've never used it ever. So with my sensitive stomach, I don't even understand how that's happened. So I can see what people are like, oh, you're not a trail runner. You've never gone to the bathroom before in the woods. Like, well, no. I mean, I have given in to the idea that I had to go, but I actually didn't have to go, thank goodness. So, because I don't know what's going on. My body's like, I'm disassociated from her. We don't know each other anymore.
There's so many lessons learned on this podcast. This is beautiful.
Educational material.
Yeah, if there's any like 5K runner that wants to get into ultras and they stumbled upon this podcast, they're done for. There's
I
no.
have to what in the woods? With what?
They ate what and listened to what coming across the finish line?
Well, a long time, and I'm one of those people that I'm not a fan of porta potties when it's hot and when people no thanks. So I mean, I'll go number 1 all day in the woods or the parking lot, but not in a porta potty unless I absolutely have to, because it's just it's icky. Ugh. So yeah.
And you do know that the Arizona Monster 300 is going on right now. And I know for a fact they have to carry almost like doggy poop bags, and they have to carry their shit out with them and throw it away at the next aid station. because they can't leave anything
That's
out there.
correct.
There you go. Yeah.
Just
I'm not
throw that out
I'm not
there.
bringing a shovel. So, yeah. No.
Yeah. Stephanie might carry your pack, but I don't think she's going to carry that pack.
No.
Ooh.
No.
Not
And I
happening.
get that. That's fine. That's what the extra pins in your bib are for. So you could just pin it. I mean, yeah, it'll be flapping somewhere, but you don't have it in your hands.
I do not want to put a pin through a poop bag. That's going to be all kinds of...
That's really tiny. You don't put it through the baggy part. You put it through the top of the Ziplocky part.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That's why you have Ziplocs. I always have Ziplocs on me, just in case you need to.
You're not
Anything.
thinking right, Justin.
Want to be touched.
I guess not.
I even
Yeah.
carry latex gloves in my pack with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Just in case.
So if you see someone on the trail with latex gloves, you know they just got done doing some business
Yeah.
Mhm.
or saved a life. You never know.
You never know.
All right. We ready to dive into lessons learned?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yes.
Let's kick it off, Nicole. What are the lessons learned from today's podcast?
My lessons learned are to eat the food that you bring with you, or some food at all, and choose carefully. And avocados, I think, are a great idea, and I will try that.
My lessons learned is you could have the best plan in place and it can all go to shit in no time at all. And also, I am a big advocate for picking up trash on the trail, but there comes a point where you need to stop putting rocks in your pack because it will get too heavy. Because I know how many rocks you put in there, and I was with you when you picked one up. So sometimes you have to just leave the trail treasures. But also, third, sometimes the trail will provide warmth or an I love you note or something. So always pay attention to what's out on the trail.
That's a hell of a hobby to have, being a rock collector and a trail runner, and it's just it turns into a ruck. All right, I have a lot of lessons learned, so I'll dive through them here. First lesson learned is Nicole has 1 week to train for a 50K in Fort Worth.
I'm ready.
Yes. If you miss the first cutoff, you're not in the clear. That's something that I also learned the hard way. You get through the first cutoff and you're like, wait, there's more. If you don't change into dry clothes when day turns to night, you may end up wearing someone else's dirty sweater that's found on the trail. So be sure to bring a bag with dry clothes in it and then take the time to change into it. Do you still have that sweater?
Yeah. It's somewhere. Yeah, sure. I think so.
That's fantastic. That just needs to be like every night run. You throw that thing on just to channel the power that came from that. That's so impressive. I love that even happened to you. The next thing is that the running vest companies need to develop a running vest for Marissa that has a built-in trash bag where she can pick up trash and put it in the bag and then hand it off. So the trash bag 3000 or whatever that's called. And my final lesson learned is you can turn everything into a salad. And I will be trying that myself.
Any lessons learned you need to share with us, Marissa?
Yeah, I think, if you can mentally push through all of the stuff that's going on, because trail running, something always hurts, something's always uncomfortable. If you can push through that, then you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But also because it was during the hottest part of the day, if you can gauge yourself, because I felt absolutely phenomenal 96 degrees, but also I don't have the energy to run at 96 degrees. So I felt great, but I had to basically governor myself and gauge myself. So if you can mentally push through all the BS you're going through, but then also not give yourself the runner's high, get off on that and just kind of keep right before you get to that. I forced myself to power walk that whole loop because I felt like the energy to run, but that's going to tear me down later on. If you can find that medium between pushing through the BS and not having too much fun so you don't wear yourself out, you'll see the finish line. Somebody somewhere is going to be able to help you math your way through it. Now, I'm a great pacer, but I'm not good at math. But somebody somewhere will be able to push you through the crap you need to get through mentally so you can push yourself physically to get to that finish line.
Perfect.
That is beautiful. All right. So if you are going to a race in Texas and you're from out of state, or if you just don't have a running familia and you see them at the starting line, just run over, say hi, and just ask, hey, can I put my stuff here? They will adopt anybody, even a crazy person from Oklahoma like me. They will take you in. They will feed you. Don't be shy. Don't wait for half of the race to be over. Get with them early, and I promise they'll take care of you. They are amazing. I would like claim them as my running club, and I'm not even from there. Like when I go to a race in Texas, I kind of look for you guys. You guys are so amazing. I appreciate everything you've done for me. So definitely latch onto them if you need them or if you think you will need them. And that will do it for today's show. So until next time, train for your races, fight the cutoffs, get yourself a poop pack, and turn your next fast food meal into a salad. Thanks for joining us, Marissa. That was awesome.
No problem.
Thank
Have a good
you.
night, guys.
On the trail.